Welcome, once again, to Factsphere 86, a realm where the ancient meets the eternal, where faith, history, and mystery intertwine in the dance of time. It has been 2 weeks since our last revelation, and I owe you, my loyal truth seekers, an apology. Creation takes time. Great stories are not born in haste. They are forged, word by word, in the fire of purpose. But now, we return with a story of power, passion, and redemption. A story that shakes the very foundations of human nature. This is the legend of Samson, the man whose strength defied armies, whose heart defied wisdom, and whose fall revealed the divine paradox between might and mercy. Long before kings ruled Israel, before David's harp sang and Solomon's wisdom reigned, there was chaos, the age of the judges. The land groaned under the iron grasp of the Philistines. Idols rose in every corner, and the covenant of God lay forgotten beneath the dust of rebellion. But heaven had not fallen silent. To a barren woman from the tribe of Dan, an angel appeared, a being robed in light, radiant as dawn. "Behold," said the messenger, "you shall conceive a son. He shall be a Nazirite unto the Lord. No wine shall touch his lips, no razor shall touch his head, for he is chosen, a deliverer for Israel." From that moment, the hand of destiny rested upon the unborn child, and thus Samson came into the world not as a mere man, but as a living vow between heaven and earth. As the boy grew, so did the whispers. The villagers spoke of strange power that dwelled within him, a power that seemed to rise not from flesh, but from the breath of God himself. One day, while traveling through the vineyards of Timnah, a lion roared from the shadows, its eyes aflame with hunger. But Samson, unarmed and alone, met it head-on, and the Spirit of the Lord surged within him. With bare hands, he rent the beast as though it were nothing but cloth. From its carcass later came honey, a riddle, a metaphor, and a prophecy. Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. Even in conquest, there is revelation. But Samson's strength, though divine, was tethered to a mortal heart, and that heart was drawn to love. Love that would become both his crown and his curse. He fell for a woman of the Philistines, a union his parents warned against. Yet love blinded counsel, and he took her to wife. But betrayal crept into the wedding feast like a shadow. Through deceit and pressure, his riddle was revealed, and his pride was pierced. Rage consumed him. He struck down 30 men to pay a debt he did not owe. When he returned to reclaim his bride, she had been given to another. In fury, he gathered 300 foxes, tied torches to their tails, and set the Philistines' fields aflame, a burning symbol of divine wrath and human heartbreak. They came for him, armies of enemies, but he stood alone in the valley of Lehi, 1,000 men advancing. In his grasp, the dry jawbone of a donkey, and with it, he wrought devastation. When thirst overtook him, he cried out, and from the bone itself, water burst forth. Even creation bowed to the chosen one. For 20 years, Samson judged Israel, feared by enemies, adored by his people. But peace cannot dwell long in the heart that craves passion. Then came Delilah. Her beauty was the snare of kings, her voice the melody of temptation itself. The Philistine lords came to her with silver and deceit. Entice him, find the secret of his power. She asked once, twice, 3 times, and 3 times he deceived her. Each time, Philistines rushed in. Each time, he shattered their bonds like thread. But the human heart, no matter how strong, grows weary under constant persuasion. At last, he revealed the truth. "My strength lies in my hair, for it is the mark of my vow to God." That night, he slept upon her lap, a lion resting in the arms of the serpent. And as he dreamed, his locks fell to the floor. When he awoke, the spirit had departed. The Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and cast him into the darkness of Gaza's prison. The mighty had fallen. The hero had become spectacle. Yet in the silence of blindness, faith rekindled. Each lock that grew back was not just hair. It was the slow rebirth of destiny. In the temple of Dagon, the Philistine lords gathered to mock their captive. They called for him to perform, to amuse them with what little strength remained. Led by a boy, Samson felt the cold pillars beneath his palms. He lifted his face to heaven one last time. "Lord," he whispered, "remember me, I pray. Strengthen me this once, that I may fulfill the purpose you gave me. He pushed. The pillars trembled. The stone above began to crack. And in a single, thunderous collapse, the temple of Dagon fell. 3,000 Philistines perished, and with them, Samson himself. In death, he achieved what his life could not, deliverance for his people. But Samson's story is not a tragedy. It is a revelation. He was the paradox of humanity, divinely chosen, yet tragically flawed. He reminds us that power without purpose becomes destruction, and love without wisdom breeds ruin. Yet, in failure, grace endures. Even when blinded, he saw more clearly than he ever had before. Even in death, he fulfilled the call of heaven. Samson's story whispers through the corridors of time, a testament that divine destiny does not die with human weakness. For though men fall, the purposes of God stand eternal. He was the warrior who loved, fell, and rose again, proof that even from ruin, redemption can roar. This is the legacy of Samson. And this is Factsphere 86, where truth and mystery intertwine beneath the light of understanding. If this story stirred something within you, like, share, and subscribe, and join us next as we unveil another forgotten tale from the ancient world. Until then, remember, even when strength fails, faith endures. And even when all light fades, the spirit remains.